Week 2, Co-Constructed Text, the Language Experience Approach. How can I use co-constructed text to help my bilingual learners read texts with confidence? Co-constructed texts are when teachers and students or students work with each other to write a text. There are many variations of how to create co-constructed texts. The format that we will focus on this week is called Language Experience Approach, shortened to LEA. The LEA comes from the world of English as a second language, first developed for Maori-speaking students in New Zealand. The main goal is to promote reading and writing through the use of personal experiences and oral language. Let's look at an example, and then we can learn more about the method. Kindergarten students were engaged in an English language development thematic unit around pets. We took one class period to go on a field trip in the school and visit all the classrooms where pets lived. This is our LEA book that came from that experience. The Pet Field Trip by Yanni, Ulisa, Nancy, Iris, and Kimberly. We went on a pet field trip. We saw a fish. He was swimming. He was orange and red. We saw a hamster. She is small. Her name is Addie. She ate her cage. We saw the guinea pig. She was furry. Then we saw a caterpillar. The caterpillar had more than 100 legs. He made a mess on Yanni's hand. Last, we saw the frogs. They were green. They jumped up. We had a good time. We loved the pets. So the steps to an LEA experience is the class or student has an experience. Students recount their experience orally, and the teacher writes down the story using students' language. So my students went on the pet field trip, and then they told me back the story, and I wrote it down. Then they illustrated. Then you read and reread the story often. Eventually, the students read the text on their own. Why is this so powerful for bilingual learners? It uses the students' own vocabulary, language patterns, and experiences to create readable texts. In a typical LEA, the discussion about what to write is key. This is where students are developing their ideas and the language to express those ideas. Teachers will need to give varying levels of support during this conversation piece, depending on the student's English proficiency level. Beginning English learners will need more support, and those with advanced levels, less support. In an LEA, there's a fine line between teacher support and student-owned text. Teachers may expand the language of the students as they create the text, but the language must remain close to the student's current level so that they will be able to have close to a 100% readable text. For example, an overly ambitious teacher could make the text unreadable for the students. We said, last we saw the frogs. They were green. They jumped up. That's kindergarten. If you said, finally, we concluded our pet tour in Mrs. Marino's class where she had an amazing fire-bellied toad, your kindergarten students wouldn't be able to reread that. LEA also works for older learners. One of the biggest advantages of LEA for older learners is it allows them to escape the humiliation of reading baby texts while they are learning to read. This student was in 3rd grade and had been at the same school since kindergarten, instructed only in English. He was reading at a DRA level 4, which was the previously shown chimp story. Here's the text from his LEA. Mom has a new baby. This morning when I woke up, I went to my mom's room and she was not there, so I asked my Uncle Javier, where's my mom? He said she was at the hospital having a baby boy. There are 5 boys in my family now. There's Juan, Jesus, Jonathan, me, and the new baby. What should we name him? Maybe we should name him Romeo because I think he will speak a lot of English. Maybe we should name him Snaky because I think he will roll on the carpet every single day. Maybe we should name him Spider-Man because I think that he will weave webs all over the house. I have a lot of names and I keep looking for more names on the TV. I think my mom and dad should let me name the baby. He read and reread the story. He read it to his classmates. He read it to his teacher. He read it to the principal, and he read it to visitors to the school. So this is the way that LEA can help you create text that older readers can read. So once again, the steps are, you have an experience. The students recount the experience orally. You write it down. You help them recount that experience. And then read and reread the story often so that eventually students read the text on their own. Let's think of the possible pitfalls. The biggest pitfall that I have seen is trying to create an LEA from a lackluster experience. The experience needs to be fun, enticing, engaging, real, or else it's not worth an LEA. Two other small pitfalls. It works best when there's a routine for rereading and when there is a real audience for the rereadings. LEA is also very adaptable. The examples in this video were narrative writing, but you could also use it in a science class, math class, or social studies. So, for example, you do an engaging science investigation and then you write a recount. You solve a real-life math problem and then tell the story of the process. But the experience must have grabbed the students' hearts and minds to be worthy of an LEA. Thank you.